Hello, hello, hello. We are live. I think we're live on everything. We had some technical difficulties on Married to Medicine. Thank you for bearing with us. Right now, we're going to do Real Housewives of Potomac. Allegation Nation is the episode. You see this little QR code. Please scan it. It'll take you to everything. Chatter Up. You can follow us on our podcast, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, just everywhere. So please be sure to scan that, and we'll also scroll our link tree on the bottom in our scrolling banner. So as hopefully people will see us, I'm gonna take a few moments and kind of wait for people to join us. Let me see if I can get this off. Joy, so how would you rate this episode of P-Town?
It was a good episode. It kept flowing. It kept flowing. So it wasn't
Ooh,
I didn't feel
wait, I'm hearing
like
it.
uh, they was just filling episode. Sometimes you be watching a show, it seems like it just got filler scenes that you be like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Woo.
only thing that was kind of off, which I thought was so tickled. Well, I'll wait till we get there.
Yeah. So you gave it a 7. That's Tori gave it a 7. Well, I need to tag some people to get in here. I'll give it a. I don't know. It had its ebbs and flows with me. I was a little kind of shocked about a few things. I'm gonna give it a 7 too, though. I think it's good, and I don't think that. Yeah. And I don't think they're gonna stick to this. I think because that's what I like about Potomac. They don't just do Pantygate, Puppygate, Kathy Hilton Gate. They kind of talk about more than one thing. So I don't think they're gonna stick to this Chris Gate. That I'm gonna call it. But oh God,
what do you call it? What do you
Chris
call
Gate? Chris Gate. Uncomfortable Gate. I don't know.
We should call it Uncomfortable Gate.
But let me tag a few people to get in here. Callie, I don't know what's going on with her, but I'm sure she goes okay. She'll be back next week. Or are we going back? Are we doing Thursday? She'll be back Thursday.
We got to do Thursday.
Oh Lord Jesus, Beverly Hills. Chris Gate, yeah, that's what I call it. Okay. Anyway, y'all ready? Okay, so let me get to my notes, and we're gonna get into it. Joy, we have a guy. I don't think you were on or you couldn't hear me. You always said you want to hear a male perspective. I've never talked to him. I don't know who he is. I don't know about him, but he wanted to join us. I'm gonna probably bring him in later as we kind of go through some things.
I would really like, I love it.
Now, I don't know what he's gonna say. He could make us so upset.
I'm so tickled when men watch reality shows. I just lean in.
Yeah.
I have an aunt and her husband, my uncle. Girl, I told him he is my dream husband.
Really?
Yes. When he talk about the housewives, I am so tickled.
I wish I had that.
Masculine.
Yeah.
Like, no, yeah. So he older. He like in 60.
Really? So I wish I had that.
He loves them all.
I don't have it. I mean, it's a few like guys that I work with. They kind of one of them watched Atlanta for in Potomac, but he ain't there anymore. And he was straight, and I was like, "Really? You like it?" So, but you don't find many.
But my stepfather used to love Jerry Springer, and my stepfather is very corporate. He loved Jerry Springer.
I was too. Very corporate.
That was like trash TV, but he loved it. I guess
sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
It's your guilty pleasure, right?
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I didn't take a few.
Like, how could you watch that? It was just he loved it.
I didn't watch Jerry. Okay, so I tagged some people. If they come, they come. If they don't know, Facebook is messing with us, but oh well. Y'all will watch on the replay. So let me get my notes because my mind is bad and Dory is real. In these streets of Montique and Joy. Did I say hello?
Before we get started, can we talk about people breaking that Monique and Chris was separated?
Yeah. Did I say hello, everyone? We are live. I don't think I did. It's Montique and Joy. Okay, there we go. Go, Joy. Let's talk about it real quick.
Well,
Chris and Monique.
People actually posted that it had been confirmed that they were separated. And then it seemed like within an hour, Monique and Chris went live and said that it was, well, she actually didn't say anything.
No.
The piece that I saw, she just showed his picture.
She just showed him on the live and he
He
said, go
just
by Mila
showed him
E.
with her.
Yeah.
So it could be, because I noticed that when somebody said something, I was like, most people would have said y'all just making up stories now.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't say anything. She just was talking, and then she was like, well, Chris, you got anything to say? And I couldn't
He just
even
said, go by Mila
understand what he
E.
said.
Buy their
I,
product. I feel like it was a ploy to buy their product. But the reason that people are saying this also is because she supposedly, and I have the video of it, I'm gonna post it later. Ashley on at BravoCon, oh well, Victoria saying it, said that Monique and her had lunch, and she told her that Monique and Chris were separating. So
oh, you know what? Then it happened. Then it ain't came out of nowhere.
it didn't come out of nowhere. So I don't
Now
know
they
if they want
may
to wait till it's because I heard it was told on their show. They're filming the DCMV, whatever show,
yeah.
Love and
Mm-hmm.
Marriage, and they announced it to them on the show. I don't know how true that is either.
It probably is, because if you look at it like for real, she didn't debunk it.
She
Now they
didn't.
may be trying to figure it out. Let's separate, get some time apart, meet back up. She's obviously, if you watch her show, and I watched her show, and
I
I
didn't.
didn't even like Monique, but I actually really like Chris. But when I was watching her, what she's asking for him is not a bad thing. It's actually a really, really beautiful thing. She just didn't get him like that. So
Right.
she's at so and what I mean by that is, this is me psychoanalyzing somebody with my non-psychology. I do have my undergrad is psychology.
Right. I was gonna
And
say you got something in
I
there.
actually didn't get education, wasn't my undergrad. But you I will say this, in my opinion, she seems to have positioned herself in his life to be everything.
Mm.
And when you position yourself in that kind of situation, you're catering to him. Now he's retired, he's not home. Robin co-signed this too. She said she had
Mm-hmm.
something similar. Now it's a situation where she's kind of the spotlight. It's not him, it's her. And the kind of connection that she wants, that's not how she got him. She wasn't looking for a connection. She was looking for a finance,
A sugar daddy.
a sugar daddy. And she's switching up. And it's nothing wrong. I can't emphasize what she's saying is what every woman desires. Every woman wants to be emotionally connected to her mate, and her mate be emotionally connected to her. There's nothing wrong with what she's asking for. I just don't think that it's realistic, because you didn't get him like that. You didn't meet a guy that, I don't even know, a lot of Black men don't even have the emotional intelligence because they're not trained to. They're trained
Mm.
to, boy, stop crying. Stop acting like a little punk. Go in there and cry.
Right.
Don't nobody want to see that. Act like a man. They're not really raised in environments that make them feel comfortable enough um to be able to be that expressive. And we're so toxic. A lot
But
of us are toxic. We don't want a man. We think masculinity is based off of toughness a lot of times.
but
Not
do
all
you
the
think?
time.
But didn't they say she trying to I didn't watch it, but then she kind of mistreat him on that show or no?
I'm not going to say she mistreated him, but she was very clear with what she wants. And
Okay.
the sad part was, Chris don't know how to give it to her. It's actually sad, because I actually had a newfound respect for him, because one of the things that I felt like, either that dude is a good actor or he really loves her.
Oh, I think he loves her. Do
So
you think she loves him or loved him?
I think she loves him in certain ways, because I don't think she doesn't love him.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't feel her connection with him is just as off as she thinks his connection is with her.
Right.
Like, it's because I don't really know. Like, I don't, because I can't really figure out Chris. I don't know if he's the type of guy that wants to save somebody. I hate to say Captain Save him, and
Right.
that he wants that. I don't really know. I don't know. I haven't figured him out yet, really, to answer that.
Fame has gotten to her.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
so
that was what everyone that watched Potomac actually talks about. They used to talk about that all the time. Both
oh,
a whole bunch of
here we
them
go.
said that in any conversation off camera, she talked about her image. And that argument
Yeah.
that her and Robin almost got into was literally about her image. Like, she wasn't lying.
And
She was
another
just
thing,
like
her
everything
pastor
she
said it too. He said, "What
yeah.
you sit here and think, you want these girls to be impressed about what you got, and they not, and you want them to like this image that you have, and they don't." And
Mm-hmm.
you just got to get over that, because she thought they were gonna be like, "Oh my God, you got 4 homes."
Yeah.
You know it's true. And let's see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's get to Potomac, y'all. How long have
Okay.
we been on here? 11 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go. Everything we
Oh,
say. Did
but
I say
let
this?
me
I
say this. I don't know
feel
if
okay.
it's true or not, but you have to be careful what you mock fun of, because that
Yes. Go
blessing
ahead.
that you throwing up in people's face, you
Mm-hmm.
think your man is a blessing or a gift or
Mm-hmm.
good luck, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can tote that if you want to. It's just, I'm just saying, I believe in it all. Karma, bad luck. I believe in God. I believe in it all. I want to stay.
Yes, because she got
I don't
joy out
want
of other
bad
people
juju. I
being
don't want it.
single. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I don't
did.
want it, because you know how much
She,
you be putting in your man to be
yeah.
talking about you ain't got one. He can be cheating.
Okay. Okay, sorry, y'all. I hit the thing again. Am I back? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember we were doing something and Tori was talking about kids and stuff, and I was like, I don't touch that. This was in the chat, like in our group, and she was responding. I was like, I can't comment on that because I'm not talking about kids because I got a kid and
Yeah.
Anyway, everything we say is alleged and entertainment purposes only. Like and subscribe moves the algorithm up,
Like,
and this is
there are
solely our
things that have
opinion.
happened to me that I specifically go back to. I shouldn't have said that. That's why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah,
feel like
I don't do it.
so I just don't understand women that put out bad juju. Cause I've done things. I ain't perfect, so I've done things, but I can almost recognize it. I think that's kind of a blessing too. Could
I
recognize. I
agree.
should have said that. That's why this is happening to me. Like,
And a lot of
I
times on
really
here, we just be having fun and not mean and stuff. We just making
yeah.
having fun. We not really wishing. I always even say that we like you. We not wishing bad on you.
Mhm.
This is just us
Yeah.
kicking, having fun, being silly.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, oh Lord, I do want to say, do you want to just jump into what happened? Because I have some notes on
Yeah.
this. I
Let's
really
just
feel
jump.
like what happened with Giselle
Uh-huh.
shook Candace to her core, because this is what I feel like. I feel like Candace thought, oh my God, I am in. I'm about to be friends with Ashley, which is going to make me friends with Giselle, which is going to make me friends with Robin, and I'm about to be over here in their little clique. So when she sat down with Giselle and Giselle did what she did, it bursted her dang on bubble. I'm telling you, I really think she thought, because she wants to be in their little clique. I don't care what anybody say.
She
Even from
does.
the
But I
last
don't
beginning.
think that that's what it was. I think it was a double combination. You almost wonder, had Giselle talked with Ashley yet?
Oh, they
Because
had? Oh, I don't know.
she said something like, I could see her head spinning. Ashley done already bought this crap with me about
Uh-huh.
Chris. Now here she is bringing this crap with me about Chris. And
Mhm.
I thought, oh, they're going to make Chris their storyline this year. That's what I thought she said. And that's why she was like, I need Eric or whoever she was looking at
Yes,
right
honey.
now.
And I'm gonna say this: if you look at it, go back and watch. Production tried to make it seem like they fought all the time in the car. When they went to the little thing, they always showed him drinking, texting in the corner, not paying Candace any attention. I really feel like they were going to try to make Candace and Chris's relationship problems
Yeah.
a storyline. I think everybody, I mean, production, everything.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I will say this though, and I stain for Giselle. Giselle is my girl in my head.
Mine too, God.
It was jacked up what she did.
Oh God, it was
I
horrible.
was so disappointed in Giselle, and not for reasons that people may think. It was jacked up because I believe what she said is absolutely true. I believe what she said was 100% true because she actually didn't say anything, and that's why she's wrong.
Right.
You went to a wife and told a wife, your husband made me feel uncomfortable. She said, what did he do? What did he say? He didn't say anything inappropriate and he didn't do anything appropriate. But you felt like because he pulled you in this room, somehow he could have been down. So now you read minds.
I agree with that. Like,
and everybody, I knew when I heard about this, I remember thinking, oh, it's possible Chris did whatever she did because Chris drinks and he drink brown liquor. And, after a couple of them, you ain't in your right mind. And the fact that she claims that he was talking about Candace, but she can't remember, I'm sure he was talking about Candace. I'm sure. Whatever it was, it could have even been a complaint of hers about her behavior. It don't even matter. He was talking about her. Wasn't talking about you. Wasn't offering you anything. He didn't say anything. And for her to bring that to a wife is Giselle knows better.
Yeah, I was very disappointed.
She knows better. Because
I love me some Giselle. And I'm going to stick beside her. That's my girl. I'm going to stick beside her. But Giselle, baby, if you would have came to me about my man with this BS, fourth wall or no fourth wall, we going to have it out. I'm happy Candace got up. Because
I probably would have said, so I would have repeated back to her. You're saying he didn't do anything to you inappropriate? No. He didn't say anything to you that's inappropriate? No. But you felt uncomfortable because you felt like it was a possibility he knew your people wasn't there and you were in the room with this married guy. That's a you problem. That's not a Chris problem.
That's not a us problem. That's a you problem.
Not a Chris problem.
Yeah.
That's a you problem.
And I can see you like, oh my God, I'm in this room with this married man.
I wouldn't have done it either. I'm married and I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Like if I had looked and I noticed that I was by myself in a room, if for no other reason, even if we walking out of the room, it would look inappropriate. So I get that part. So I get that. I can believe that at some point she felt uncomfortable. That lets me know that you're aware of things. But to bring that to Candace, to me, was jacked up.
Yes. And
because
I mean,
nothing to bring her.
When it happened, I just wrote, "Side Giselle, why? I can't defend this. Like, I can't, like, I can almost try to defend Giselle, or I can, because those are my girls. But this, I just cannot. And I'm praying, which I don't think it happened, that Giselle goes to her and fixes it. It's not going to happen, I can tell, because the way they go back and forth with each other. But I did not like it. So she said, Gizzard playing games and Candace needs to stay on every ring in her neck. Now, y'all leave her neck alone.
While y'all talking about Giselle's neck, keep on living.
Right. Giselle look good to be her age.
Keep on living. You better hope you look that good at 52. Keep on living.
I agree. I don't talk about her looks because she's
that's crazy to me. Y'all want her to go do Karen and have everything.
Oh my God, y'all.
Yeah, keep on living.
Okay, now let me say this, and I don't care if my mom was watching this, but I have watched the porn before. And some white men
not
do have brown penises. They do. I have seen it. It's not dirty. It's just dark. It's just brown. It just really is. I don't know what it is.
Because they're circumcised?
Maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. But yeah, I feel like Karen, because it was when it's what, I don't know if it was her makeup or what, but she is morphing into something. She needs to stop with the plastic surgeries.
Yeah, she
And I
looked
feel like
good last year. I don't know what's
this,
wrong with her face
oh
now. It
God,
looks
it's
weird.
bad. It's bad. And so I really feel like that's what happens with reality TV is people listen to everything that everybody says about them. So they change the way they dress. Wendy lost her Jermaine Jackson sideburns and got a whole new body. Like, I think it's refreshing when somebody just don't care. Like, I'm gonna wear the clothes I want to wear. I'm gonna do look like I
Ashley is
want to
like
look.
that too.
Yeah,
Ashley is the same person she was when we first met her. So is Giselle. So is Robin.
yeah, they're the
They are.
same.
So is Sharice.
Yeah,
That Sharice, she gained a little weight, but that's
yeah,
okay. I'm sure TV that usually make you get that off. You
yeah,
see yourself a couple of times,
yeah. She gonna get
she'll
something.
get that off. But they're the same people. I don't like when you. I mean, they
I
look
feel
at
like Candace is the same too. I
yes,
do agree with
Candace
that.
is actually the same.
I do agree with G. She does need to stop. And I don't know if it's attacking people's husbands,
That's not an attack in her
but
husband.
I do feel like I wish she would stop. But I think it's crazy because I feel like all of them had talked about everybody's husbands too. Candace dogs Michael. She talked
All the
about
time.
Ray. She's even going to talk about Ray this season. She's gonna say,
Yeah,
you know, that Karen was cheating on Ray. Da, da, da,
yeah.
da. She's gonna talk about their marriage, but people ain't gonna say nothing about that. I feel like they all do. She dogged Juan. I mean, like they all do it. So it's not just Giselle. They talked about Sherman, broke Giselle and Sherman up. But so you feel like Ashley has changed? You think so? I
Most
don't.
women do. I mean, I know I did.
I don't
You
think. I still think
morph
she
into
messy.
something else. I think that especially if you've kind of been like a wild child and you had your children later. I did. I had mine a little bit later.
I did
So
too.
it changes you. It does change you. You even see the world differently. I mean, arguably, she doesn't even want to have the kind of relationship with her husband before because she has children.
But I'm gonna say this: she don't want to drink no more because she don't want to sleep with him. That's the only way she can make it. So
Girl, did you see them shots she was taking to
yes,
take a
honey.
shower?
She was doing the shots, and I don't know. Okay, what else do I have? We skipped all the way to the end. That was kind of crazy. Um, do you think Karen? Y'all want to talk about the little dancing thing, and then I'm gonna bring some people in. Do you think that Karen really was sick, or did you think she just didn't want to go to the little dancing thing?
I definitely don't think she wanted to go.
I would have loved to see Karen dancing.
Karen wasn't gonna do that.
Do y'all think they did good? I thought everybody did good with Robin. What do y'all think?
Robin is goofy though, but that was one of the things that um she just doesn't care. She's very carefree in that regard, but so is Giselle. They're both goofy. They're really like Ethel and Lucy. That's kind of why I like them. They don't take themselves seriously. They can laugh at a joke even when it's at them. Um, and I just don't think they take this show that seriously. But you could tell too. Just look at how they interview and how everybody else interviews. Like you listen to Giselle, she's almost saying the same thing in her interviews. She's like, well, how do you and Wendy get along? She says, oh, I made it my business not to be disrespectful. I barely speak to her,
Yeah, they're not
all
talking.
season. And she said the same thing about Candace. She was just like, she doesn't give that kind of energy to like she ain't trying to. I just don't think they care like that.
I don't know. I don't know. Um. All right. So you want to bring some people in? Do we have anything else to talk about? Because I think that was pretty much it.
That's it.
What else we got? Where are the taglines?
I haven't seen them. I was looking for them the other day. Yeah, I
I
don't know what they are.
I don't know. So we got a few people trying to get in here. I just think the major thing was the Chris. What about Katie? Katie coming
Okay,
back.
Giselle knows she messy. She drug her all the way over there to say, Ray got a crush on you. I said she produced. If that ain't no producing the scene, and then when Karen was coming, she said, "Here comes Karen."
What's so crazy is I was like, is Katie trying to be part of the Green Eye Bandits? Because then
Yeah,
they
you
said
know she wanted to get back on the show. She's been crystal clear about that. She even got RHOP in her bio. I said
uh-uh.
folks that not even on this season and it took that down. Katie still got it up.
Katie
She
said, I'm
she
coming back.
she's petitioned Andy online to
Uh-huh.
come back.
She asked for her job. Okay. Anything else? I'm gonna bring some folks in, and then I guess
Was that it? Yeah.
I just
Oh,
think.
y'all noticed that
Oh,
Wendy
we
didn't
talked about Monique and Chris
Monique had,
already.
I mean, can't Wendy only had like a quick scene, a
Yeah.
very quick scene. That's it. And I think that those are the people that they be Xing out. I watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she didn't have any kind of scene.
Yeah, she that I think that's because she overly
You think
produces.
they know she's not real?
I know. I'm telling you, they may not read ours, but they're reading these producers and stuff. They read comments because there's nothing about her that seems authentic.
I do that all the time. I go in, oh Lord,
Hello,
I ain't
is
even.
it Domicio? This is the guy I was
Yes,
talking
It's
about.
the museum.
yes. Can y'all
Hello,
hear?
how are
Can y'all
you?
good? Can y'all hear me?
We
Yes.
can. We've been having technical difficulties, so I don't think Facebook told people we were on until later because we got all the Facebook people now.
Okay, so I just want to say Giselle is a miserable, pathetic ass bitch. Like seriously, she shows time and time again that she has nothing going on in that miserable, sad ass life that she got. Like, girl, you know
Now
damn
look
well
now.
nothing was inappropriate. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what was inappropriate, what he did. Like,
Oh,
you were
it wasn't that
uncomfortable.
he did anything wrong. It was inappropriate. She's right about that. It is inappropriate as a unmarried woman to be in a room with a married man by herself. Even
But
if nothing inappropriate don't mean you can't. It's certain things that really are inappropriate. The
But
situation was
it's not like he was some random guy. Like,
it
they
doesn't
all know
matter.
him. They're
It
all
really doesn't
friends.
matter though. Even my
But
coworkers,
yeah,
I wouldn't be in a room with the door closed with them. Period. It protects both of you all. It would
I agree
protect
with that.
them and me. I mean, I
Okay,
just wouldn't.
then answer me this. She said on the reunion, it was the whole Nicki Minaj situation. He was talking to Candace, but he didn't like the way Nicki Minaj was questioning Candace, and Giselle interrupted their conversation. He said, "We'll talk later."
uh-huh.
Chris
That
turned to
is
her and said,
true.
"Can I
That is
finish?
true.
Can I
That is.
finish, Domicio? Domicio, I was talking."
Oh, I'm sorry.
He said, "Can we talk in private?" Which means he's expecting to talk to her one on one somewhere in private. It is not on him to know that she thought her glam squad would be in her room. They get to the room. For me, once I saw, if my expectation was that my glam squad would be there, and if they're not, then I would say, "Hey, can we go somewhere else?" Regardless, they have a conversation. Sorry, I have the window open. Jesus Christ. They have a conversation, and months and months go by, and you don't say nothing until now, when all of a sudden Ashley has this Insta story reply that she's now saying is a DM. So
You
it
know
is
that
strange.
was like three
Well,
weeks
that
after
was
me.
on purpose, Kaya.
You do
That's that
know that
she
that's on.
purposely
What
They
Joyce?
did
started
that.
filming like 2 or 3 weeks after me.
Yeah, I do know that,
So
but the whole point is you're on some friendly terms. She has no problem asking Chris to take this bag and take that bag when her foot is broken. Has no problem asking Ahmed to cook for him and all that kind of stuff. They are quite friendly. So if you thought something was wrong, it is strange then for you to not say anything until you can latch on to football head story.
Now listen, y'all.
I agree. I agree. Giselle ain't got nothing else going on in her life. Like I said, she go
Not
after
even her
marriages
wardrobe.
year after
Listen,
year.
I ain't gonna
This
let
is
y'all. I'm sticking beside Giselle. I don't
That's
agree with what
perfectly
happened,
fine.
We
but I'm
okay with
stick.
that.
What you say?
We okay with that. Stick to your guns. But I
I
want to
don't think
change it.
what she
But
did
I
was
want
right.
to change the conversation because of the juicy tea about Martell coming over to Real Housewives of Atlanta
Let's just talk
and
about
on the
Potomac.
and on the
Andy, we are
phone
we
talking
on
about
Potomac.
Potomac.
taping.
We
They
on
got into
Potomac.
our
We on Potomac.
okay. All right. I'll stay
Tori,
on
what you
topic.
got to
But
say? And
but
then
but
I'm gonna let y'all
but,
just talk about
but
Giselle.
Katie was
Oh,
inappropriate when she was patting Ray's butt. You think that was cool? Oh no. Oh, and she was grabbing it and she just kept doing it when Karen came over. See,
I thought that was pretty innocent.
no, you did? You gotta be kidding me.
Folks,
Okay?
certain people
I,
get away
I
with certain
think that
things.
anybody that has spent 10 minutes with Katie know that he is not Jewish, nor I don't know how
White.
rich he is. That is Katie's type. I don't think it was appropriate for her to touch her butt, but he's a 70-something-year-old man. I
That's
don't
okay.
think she want him, and that's really to boost his ego.
It was to
And that's
boost the butt. But though his fires may be
nobody was gonna
balanced,
want
he
Moses.
can still lick the
but
jar.
I don't need
What are
nobody.
you talking about?
Right, I don't
Okay?
want no woman touching my husband's butt. If he's 70 years old, touch away.
I
No
don't
way.
care
Don't touch
how
my
old he
man at
is. You better
70.
not
No,
put
Yeah,
ma'am.
your
I
hand on
thought
my
that was. Yeah, like I said,
husband
I thought that
you
was
can
like pretty
believe that.
innocent. I don't think Karen was bothered by Katie doing that.
No, I don't think she was.
All right,
Karen,
Tori gonna say something, then we'll kind of do a little round thing. I'll ask y'all some questions. Go ahead,
Uh,
Tori.
My focus is on Mia. This girl is
Oh,
lying about something. There's no way you put out about the cancer scare and it been a year and you haven't got
we
the
forgot
results back
about it.
yet for a biopsy. Then on top of that, she just released something about her husband, brother just took everything they got and such and such. But I thought she owned all these chiropractic clinics. That's hers. She
Because
made
she's
it
a
seem like
liar.
it was hers and it had nothing to do with her husband. So we need to be
Actually, you're
investigating
right
on
about
that.
that. We forgot to talk about that
we
off the
did.
air
I think I'm happy you brought that up,
because
Tori.
now, if y'all pay attention, last week when she was talking to her mama and she said it's technically a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who does? Did y'all
Yeah.
notice that? She
Yes.
said air quotes when she said disease. And it's so weird. She's lying. I absolutely, and I told y'all what I kind of think it is.
Yeah, tell them again because I don't think some people are on.
So, hey, Michelle, I don't know if y'all remember, she did this special on her botched surgery.
Something is
They actually did a series
there.
on that. But anyway, she had to have these lumps removed from her back. It's just getting too much surgery. I don't know if it's too much, but anytime you cut or open up, you can get bleeds or things can happen.
Right.
And it can be non-cancerous lumps, but when they happen, you don't know what they are. So they do have to test them. They do have to do a what is it, a biopsy, cut a
Mm-hmm.
little piece and figure out if it's cancerous. I think it's because of her surgery and she just doesn't want to say.
All of her plastic surgery.
All of her plastic
That she
surgery.
continues to get. Jesus Christ. Those new teeth are bothering me.
I,
But there is a
um,
press
I
release from the joint franchise
Back
because
up.
it is owned by someone separately, and obviously it's a franchise you can buy into. There's literally a press release on the website talking about how G and his brother, no mention of Mia, started this franchise with 8 of them, and how G and his brother sold the McDonald's and the massage envies that also Mia claimed were hers. They sold the McDonald's and the massage envies to be able to do the franchises for the joint. And apparently, another YouTuber said that she knows someone who knows Mia, and they came to her saying that actually G doesn't even have that much of a hand in it. It's mostly his brother. So it does make sense that the
Oh.
brother has access to that. And also from me, it sounded like they were paying them out some money, and it sounds like because Mia's acting like they're broke now because they don't have access to the company funds. To me, that sounds like you are using the company's funds for personal use because you should not be broke and you have all this money. You should be able to have your personal savings, your checkings account,
Yeah.
your own credit cards if you don't have access anymore
Girl,
to the
she
corporate account.
told us what her salary was. I was like,
She did. She did.
there's
yeah,
a
she
whole
did.
she was
So
like, and
I knew that
I'm
was a
not
lack in
gonna
the
have
So,
job.
my
Demetria,
200.
were you saying something about Mia? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say about the cancer thing. I under First of all, let me just say this again about Giselle's miserable ass. They
Right.
always got something to say, always in somebody else's business, but they own. Maybe if Giselle wouldn't have found a man or found something to preoccupy her time, honey, she wouldn't be worried about nobody else. Now, I don't think Mia was looking for attention. I have went through something similar like this before. I had a lump in my foot when I was like 15 years old, and they cut it out, and they had to run a bunch of tests and stuff on it, and I had to
Mhm.
like wait for like weeks and stuff like that to get results
Mhm.
back to make sure that it
Mhm.
wasn't cancerous and stuff like that. So I get where she's coming from. Now maybe she might have did a whole lot with the post and stuff like that, but for them to sit up there and try to question her and do all the extra stuff, they deserve that fuck you that she gave them.
But Demisio, you're on a show. Okay, if they don't do anything that they're doing, what will we talk about? Like somebody has to kind of move and
I
be a
mean,
little messy.
I agree
They
with
move.
you. I agree with you, but that doesn't mean that my opinion is not gonna change about the green eyed bandits being
Hey,
thirsty bitches. Because that's what they are. Robin don't got nothing going on. One barely want her. Giselle don't got a man, don't got nothing going on here. Her own daughters to be talking shit about her. I mean, they have nothing else to do but invade in other people's business.
I
And
I
then
don't
when
think
they
because
agree.
there's
get
not a
red,
balance.
then they don't be having nothing to say. And that's another problem that I have with Giselle. For her to always be in somebody else's business, she can't read worth a damn. Never.
Are you
Like
talking about
it just
Giselle?
yes. For her to always
Oh,
be in somebody else's business, she can't argue worth the damn. And
yeah,
that's
I
what's
agree with
mind
that.
boggling to me. Like,
I do
girl.
agree with that. Kenya said she tried to help her, and I like Kenya, so don't you talk about Kenya. But
Oh, I love Kenya. I stay in Kenya, honey.
okay, good, good. But Kenya tried to help Giselle, and Giselle said no, she was okay. And I was like, well, damn, Giselle. But anyway, y'all ain't right talking about Giselle. I feel like Giselle does not want to tell her business. I do feel
That's why
like
she's
Giselle got
always
some
in somebody else's. Yep.
right. Because even when Robin, did y'all catch when Robin was like, Giselle, I'm pissed at you for telling that Juan's not on the house. And she said,
Yeah,
what if
I
I
did
start
see
telling
that.
your business? And Giselle was like, no, don't do that. Did y'all catch that?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets annoying to people because there's not necessarily a balance. If because I know the girl, I love the girls getting into it, everyone being nosy, all that kind of stuff. But it does become a little bit taxing when that's the only thing someone ever does. You can push
Yes.
the storyline, all that kind of stuff. But for me personally, I enjoy seeing what their family is doing, what kind of business they're making. If they're going to think, I enjoy that. And when we get none of that from Giselle, other than this peace house together, um, it doesn't
Uh,
really, it doesn't really go because I'm just like, if you just want to be a producer, you can do that and not get a paycheck, and I don't have to see you on my screen.
thank
No,
you.
we need Giselle. We cannot have
You
her off the screen.
absolutely need Giselle
If
because
y'all,
Do we
they
need
I
they
Lisa
mean, what
Rinna?
they've
does what
already
does
been
Giselle
here.
bring? Giselle
They've
don't bring
already
anything.
they've
I mean, she be
Giselle
in
and
people. She
Karen.
be in people marriage every
they're,
year. It's the
they're not
same
going
thing.
to move. It ain't no every year. It ain't no in nobody's marriage. If something happened to some, look, I don't agree with what Giselle did to Candace,
Me either.
and it's not because for different reasons. It just was as a she's been a wife before. You don't want nobody bringing you something that ain't worth because you literally told her nothing. He did.
Mm-hmm.
She made it clear he didn't say nothing to her. He didn't do anything inappropriate. She just happened to be in a room. If anybody should have been mad, anybody should have been her because your discernment as the single woman that's cautious of that because he may not have been because he was drunk would have been to leave. Oh, I ain't gonna come in here. Here, let's come out here. It should have been on her, not necessarily Chris.
I agree with that. But I feel like they all come from each other's relationships. And I don't know why y'all just focus on when Giselle does it. Because
Yeah.
everybody talks
Because
about
she do
everybody's
it
marriage.
every year. Like it wouldn't be so
It
bad
ain't
if
no
that
every
wasn't her
year.
single
It is
storyline every
now.
year.
Last year was the only time that she literally said something about somebody's husband.
Baby, she
I
didn't. She
because
dogged Karen out
the
year after
storyline
year. She
getting
always
from
dogged
because
Ray
Monique,
out.
she
Like
didn't
it's
come from
a
Monique's marriage.
pattern.
That's just simply not true. But y'all keep
I
saying
do
it
agree with that.
like it's true.
It is.
It's not.
Before that, she was in Monique's marriage. Before
She
that,
No,
she
was
she was
stayed dogging.
not.
She talked about
wasn't.
Karen. She
No,
talked
I'm gonna have to
about
push back
Ray
on
and
that
his
one.
taxes and his
no.
finances.
Oh God, I
She
was
does it
wrong.
all the
That's not
time.
true. She didn't. You know how I know she didn't come because we didn't hear that rumor. That the show never talked about the rumor. The only time the rumor even came out was in confessionals. So to say that she came for a marriage is just a flat out lie.
I
They
mean, the
never played
confessionals
that
are
rumor.
shown on national television for the entire world to see. It's the same
But
thing.
you
What
don't
no,
think,
what
but
happened
you don't
was
think Monique saying, "Oh my gosh, she has this rumor. I'm running from her. I don't want to see Sharice. Oh my God, what's the rumor?" They gonna ask. Monique brought this on the show way way
She
before
did.
Giselle did. Matter of fact, she didn't. They didn't even talk about the rumor as groups. It was only after Chris, after filming, when she asked Robin, which they didn't play in real time. They only played it at the reunion to prove the point that Monique and Chris brought this bull crap on the show.
Because when Giselle went to the house,
Yes.
Chris said, "Oh, Giselle, this is my son. He looked like me, right?"
Right.
That's what
Chris
brought
brought that.
it
As a
in the show.
Therese actually said that the producers told them they could not even talk about it unless she brought it to the show.
They brought it
And
up.
she did.
Jordan got mad
Oh my
at
God.
that. I ain't used to Joy being like this.
And
Me and
she
Joy agree on this part.
Yes. Yes. Demisio, that was Monique. Do you like Monique?
I mean, I never chose
I
a
scared
side.
you. I'm sorry.
I
You got
never,
you
I, I
started
never,
like
no, because I still feel the same way. I still feel like Giselle be in everybody's business. It's on camera. She does it year after year after
But
year. My
she
stand still
didn't
say the
do it
same.
on camera. The producers kept asking.
She
They actually asked
she said it in the confessional, so that was
how
enough for
she did
being on
something.
camera for me. She said it before it was even just fully talked about.
No, it
No,
There's
that's
something
wasn't.
not
going
true.
on
No,
about Monique
Denisio, they
and the
asked her
trainer.
because
It was
Monique brought it up in the confessional. Monique
Yes.
had a
Yes.
confessional, and then they asked Giselle literally, what is the rumor? Because Monique said there is a rumor that Charisse was spreading.
Right.
And so they
And
asked
they
Giselle about it.
asked Monique. Monique said she wouldn't tell it. They asked Robin. Robin said no. They asked Ashley. Ashley didn't say anything. When they got Giselle said, oh. Y'all would have heard. And she told
exactly
the
that's the point that I'm trying to make.
but
She could have said the
Demisio,
same thing
but
that
Demisio,
everybody else said.
you
She could have
do
said the
know
same
that
thing.
confessionals are not filmed in real time.
They filmed
Yes, I
after.
know
They
that, but
don't
what I'm
even
saying
start
is though, Giselle
confessionals
could have
till
still
late.
said the same thing that everybody else said. I don't want to talk about it either. If she don't bring it up, then
For
I ain't gonna bring it
what?
up. But Giselle couldn't wait to be Giselle.
No,
You
see,
know what
I'm more
happened?
on if she's creating something. She didn't create that.
She
My
did
issue is
not.
when I feel like she's creating something. She did not create that. Monique
Okay,
was
I'll
talking
agree with
about
that.
that before the
I'll agree
show
with
even
that.
went on.
She
And
I'll
sure
Monique
agree
was
with that.
did.
talking about Charisse in this rumor, even though her best friend, Football Head, was on the internet saying Charisse had nothing to do with the rumor. Even when Candace signed a legal document with Monique helping her get her best friend to shut up, Monique still was trying to talk about it because she was trying to justify what she did. So she turned it into it's because of this rumor that happened 2 years ago that the girls were gossiping about at a baby shower when everyone gossiped.
Where a baby didn't even exist. That y'all don't even think about the fact that this rumor was going on longer than she was even pregnant with this baby. So you have to ask yourself, she wasn't even the argument and whose baby is who. It was never about the baby that she actually had. It was the one that she had allegedly lost, the whole rainbow thing that her
Yeah.
friend said was a whole lie.
Yep.
That she got pregnant by the boyfriend. That's her friend.
And they're showing the trainer on some. We're not gonna show him because we don't know if it's true, but they're
No,
showing
they're
his.
showing him. They don't show him. Well, I would say because I don't really like to talk about the bird lady like that, but I would say that it is interesting that a lot of people do say that she's intoxicated by fame and how she dropped out of college to follow her dream to be a rapper, living in a truck, and you just happened on this man who's a football player who already has a fiance, and you just happen to
And
become
she was his
his
assistant.
Yeah.
assistant, and you go from assistant to girlfriend to wife all of a sudden. Once he retires, you don't have to go through the trouble of being with an NFL player who's actively playing anymore. And the fact that her real self is a person who likes to do all the rapping, all the kind of stuff, which is perfectly
Got
fine.
demonic
It's
noises.
Demisio. It's
I think it's
Demisio.
Demisio. I muted him.
Oh,
Muted him.
sorry, that was a loud tongue pop.
I
So
know.
I think that she was never don't laugh at me, girl. She has never been able to be her true self. She's always changing herself, which is why she came on what's her show? Love and Marriage DC. And
BC or
now
whatever.
and
Yeah.
now all of it it's not all of a sudden because she likes her essential oils, but now it's like, okay, I need to just, let myself be completely natural and locks and all this kind of stuff because she was trying to come on that show with a new persona because she's ruined her perfect Patty persona on Real Housewives. Like, no one's going to tell me that. It's so strange how she literally just came out and said that Real Housewives of Potomac saved her marriage because on the second season, her and Chris are on the brink of divorce. And then you get on your own show and you don't tell anyone that you guys are on bring up divorce again until the end of the season because everyone has something to say about how you were treating your husband.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Wait,
how
but
she
then
says,
I thought they posted with the rings on still.
no, no,
They
no.
did.
No, I'm not talking about that, Denise. I'm just talking about in general how she's always putting up a different front, and then when she's confronted with it, she says something else. So she says she was on Potomac pretending that her marriage was perfect. She had some issues with like not wanting all these kids and all that kind of stuff, but generally she acted like her life was perfect, and she's wanted her husband to be a little bit more involved with raising the kids. That's the issues their own. But then you get off the show, and because the way she acted on Love Marriage Huntsville, now she's telling interviewers, oh, on Real Housewives of Potomac, they're saying my life was too perfect, my marriage was too perfect, and they want me to create drama. How is your life so perfect? But then you get on Love and Marriage DC, and all of a sudden you've had all these issues for how many years, and you were on the brink of divorce. The first season you were on Potomac, and you were on the brink of divorce before you got on the show.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
I don't
don't.
even understand how she thought that anyways, because it was clear as day the same thing that was going on now was going on then when she was on Potomac.
So, do
Same
y'all believe
issue.
that they are going through a divorce, or do you think that
Oh,
it's not?
Since they posted that, I'ma just say no. Since that's what they posted with
They
the rings
didn't
and still
say
I'm
that
gonna
they
say
weren't.
no.
They just they
What did they
didn't
say to make you
say
think?
they're
Just
not.
showing the rings, was that enough for you?
That was enough for me. That was basically saying like, what these rumors are not true. The rings is still here. He's still right here. So that's why I just said I'm gonna just let it all play out. They filming the second season, so we'll see
but
what
see,
happens.
but my thing is, if okay, I feel like they might have been separated, whatever.
Mm-mm.
But to me, I think then the truth is she's gross, and she was the one. He was yelling about Bravo playing with marriages and Giselle playing with marriages. But now all of a sudden, you told your friend last week that you were separated,
Hmm.
and people just all of a sudden has this
Y'all keep
information.
forgetting that Ashley is the one that said at
That's what she was
BravoCon.
saying. Yeah,
No,
Kat
wait,
was saying that.
what
Yeah.
happened? What first
Like
happened?
this
Because the
why would Ashley, her friend, make that up?
yeah, Joyce, can I finish?
That's what
The
she was
panel
saying.
for
Go ahead.
Potomac, all they someone asked about Monique, and Ashley said, "Oh, like we're still great friends. I saw her for lunch last Tuesday, whatever. She has her own things going on." That's the first thing she said. Then People Magazine came out with saying she's separated. They're filing for divorce and da 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 da. And then Monique was like, and then the ring video came up, and then they asked Ashley again about it on Watch What Happens live recording, and she said, "No, Monique told me they are getting separated after they came out saying they weren't." So to
Gator,
me,
who
either
said
she's playing with
this?
her like what
Gator
she
said
said.
that she said they are just living in separate houses
Oh,
to where
because she went live at 7.
Monique said
She went.
this?
No, I don't know if she might have said this, but she went live at 7 EST. So that's maybe where they're getting it from.
Child.
Okay, see, this is why I can't f with that bird
I
lady
can't
because
mess with
people
her.
playing games. So
Not
you're
the
not
bird.
separated. No, you're not separated, but you're living in separate houses and you want to flash this ring. Ho, you were on your show talking about how you wouldn't get married. If you had to do all over again, you wouldn't be married. You'd just be spiritually married and be a baby mama. Even though you were on Potomac flashing that ring
She
and that
say
man in front of on Love and Marriage
I don't
DC, she
know.
said,
See, she said that.
she
that?
said,
Delicio.
I said I think that he loves her, but I question
I don't. That woman does not love that man. She thought that she could get a little baby, one baby. He would start a record label for her, and she'd become this big Hazel because she loves her Hazel eyes. She'd
You think
become the
she could
rapper Hazel
rap?
and live her best life. But instead, she hasn't been able to make a
yeah,
career off of being a rapper because that's why she only has that one song, "Dissing Candace." Yet Candace has a whole album that
That's what I was gonna
everyone and
ask
the
y'all.
artist.
Do y'all think she's
Yeah,
jealous of Candace? Because Candace is
yes,
like touring. She's gonna be in Nashville. I'm not gonna go see her, but she's touring.
I want to go see her, but I'm out in the woods right now. I'm still a little fearful of crowds because Mia also disturbs me because I literally spent a month in the ICU, the neurology ICU, because I found out I had like a blood disorder. I had no platelets when I fell. I had 2 brain hemorrhages, and they had to do a bone marrow biopsy. I was 24. Do a bone marrow biopsy on me to make sure I didn't have cancer and to make sure my body was still making platelets. That way I wouldn't internally bleed to death. And I had to sit for 2 or 3 days and Mia's acting like
Yeah.
they did a biopsy. And to me, they would have still came back and said something like, "Hey, this test came back inconclusive." But the fact that she's not saying we did this biopsy and we did XYZ test, it's inconclusive, so they're trying to do more testing. She's leaving it very vague, and I think it's very much so on purpose. But back
she
to Miss
trying to
I thought she
ride
said it
that.
was lymphoma.
So y'all know on the
She said it
last
was lymphoma.
episode,
to the
That's
girls,
what
but to
she
her
said
mom,
on the
no,
show.
Well, she said it was
but
in
to
her lymph nodes, didn't she?
no,
yeah,
she said
No, she
lymphoma
said
to the girls.
lymphoma.
To the
Yeah.
girls. But to her mom, she
Oh,
said disease in quotes.
she did. She's lying.
Yes.
And did you
She
see
did.
how much y'all bet place a bet that I ain't not no money. But look, how much y'all bet that on the last week she gonna be like, I'm cancer free?
Yes,
How much you bet?
Oh my God.
absolutely.
She is not jealous of Candace. She is doing well with her essential oil line.
But
She
that's
is
not what she
big.
wants to be.
She
She
wants
wants
to
to
be a
be
star,
Hazel the
right?
rapper.
I honestly feel like if she wouldn't have got on Potomac, her and Chris would have been just fine. I feel like they had problems in their marriage, like any marriage has. But I feel like when she started like being able to do her own thing, getting her own money, all that
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff, I feel like that's when the issues started to arise. Like he definitely gives me
But
the vibes
Delicia, she
of
came out and said they were having issues before they even got on Potomac, and that Potomac saved their marriage.
no. I understand that. What I'm saying is that that's how I personally feel.
Okay.
I feel like when they got on the show and she started getting her own money and stuff like that, that's when the real issues started to arise
So
between
I
she
the
became
two of
her
them
own
because
woman.
yeah, she didn't need him anymore. And he
She didn't
definitely
need
gives off the
him.
vibes that he want her to be a stay-at-home mom,
That's what
to
I
provide
I can't
everything.
figure him out. That's what I mean.
And
That's
he's
is
definitely
that what
cold
he
as
wants?
ice.
Yeah.
But
I
I think
yeah.
But I get confused by that because he literally was like, he was like, I was going to start a record label for her to be a rapper. And I think they had their first kid and things change. I don't think he's against her doing her thing. I think she does things and it doesn't make sense. And then he's like, can we keep doing this? Because you have to remember when she did like live podcast and she told that man, I spent worked $200,000 in. And
He
he's
sure
like,
did. I
so
was
it's
like,
not. I don't think it's because like the essential oil lines. I never saw him complain about that. I've seen him complain about the podcast because all that money she had to spend. That's the only thing I saw him complain about.
And
Not
then
saying
she
he's
want a
perfect.
pet lizard and a pet snake and a bird and a chimpanzee and a
And
raccoon. Like she
and
just needs a like a what you call them animals that you a support
I'm
animal.
she I think she needs a
Uh,
lot because on their show she was like, you need to like Chris, you need to like he was supporting her. You know, she works at the radio station. I don't know which one. He supported her. He said, I will take the kids, wake them up, make the breakfast, da da da. I think he complained a little bit. Men need to get over that, but he still supported her making her move to be on the radio, to be on a morning radio show.
Oh, he
So
did.
it's confusing to me how she kept telling him, she was the one on her show telling him, you need to find what you want to do, because she was doing what she wanted to do. And then when he told her, I want to be a coach, she told him that's not what the spirit is leading you to do.
What? Okay, I need to watch
she
this
wants
show.
home. She want him at
She
home. Fuck
wants him
her.
at her back and call. She was literally complaining about him not
I
having a
think
passion,
she
and then
felt
he
she
said, "I want to do coaching." And he told her, "I," because they were talking to a spiritual healer, and she said, "I don't think the spiritual healer is trying to tell you to do coaching." That's literally what she said.
I
yeah.
think
I
So this is on the
feels
DMV
like
show or
she
DC
finna
show.
she finna
Yes,
yes.
back in
I
the
definitely feel like the DC show highlighted their problems in their marriage a whole lot more than
yeah,
they did on Potomac.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Oh
Chris is a
definitely.
country man. He wants to be a full provider, but she does not want him to have a relationship with his mom. So she is getting what she gets.
Well,
Do
I
y'all believe that?
think as far as the mom goes, I think that was like a Chris decision too because his mama was definitely disrespectful to their relationship.
How is she gonna clown anybody? Is she a clown? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't like Monique. I don't know if y'all know that.
I don't either. So we're on the same boat with that because I'm sorry, that woman's a liar, an
What
attention seeker.
I never was
I
like a
mean, I don't think she clowned anybody. I don't think that
No, well, Gator saying that Monique just clowned Giselle on her live.
that's why I say she don't have nothing else to do. Like she's
Yeah.
trying to remain relevant. Monique, I mean, that girl purposely don't talk about you. The only thing she does say is that I'm glad she over there.
Yeah.
Have
She doing
yeah,
what she's
yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah. She doing
Mm-hmm.
what she is where she's supposed to be, which
I
is
mean,
nothing.
Monique was cool on Potomac. I'll give her that. She was cool.
Yeah.
I never really took a side when it came to the whole her versus Candace thing because like which divided the whole Bravo verse. I feel like personally it
Yes.
divided everybody. When I personally feel like they both were wrong. Like they both were way out of line.
Do you
Candace
believe
was,
Candace
I
and so was
was?
Monique.
I think Candace, generally speaking, is way out of line, hands down. But
Me
I think
disagree
in
with this
this
one.
particular incident, she wasn't saying anything to get that response at that time. And
Right.
Candace, and of all the people that Candace had went off on, she had never done that to Monique. And if you remember that season, she kept walking away from Monique.
Yes.
Monique kept wanting to have a moment with her, but she kept walking away. But the day at the winery, and it was at least 3 times that she had walked away that season. She had
Mm-hmm.
been so apologetic to her. I don't know if she was trying to make it right or trying not to get the smoke. It could have been either one. But on the day of that winery, Candace had time.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
I
what
feel
tipped it
like
off.
they had that hold down.
Oh,
You went out, Demisio. Okay, Angela, what do you mean? What shenanigans does Candace have with her husband? We gonna get off here in about 5 more minutes, so y'all get it out. Monique betrayed Candace. The only reason why Candace and Ashley got into it. That is so true. Monique did
What
betray
she
Candace.
say?
Monique betrayed Candace
Now
because
I
she
might ruffle a
Well,
little. I might
the
ruffle.
drunk
I
driving
don't
thing.
think Monique betrayed Candace, but I do believe that Monique feels like Candace betrayed her because it all goes down to Sharice. It was all about Sharice. People keep
Now
forgetting that.
no, but it's confusing because Candace and Sharice had been friends before that season, and Ashley came out and said Sharice had nothing to do with that rumor. So how are you so mad at Candace but not mad at Ashley when Ashley is literally on the
because
internet
because
combating how you're
Candace
saying you're going off of this?
because Candace and Sharice actually met with her friend. That's the difference. See,
Oh, they met
nobody
with
else
And
had
Gigi.
met
Candace,
with her.
now I
Yeah.
might
no,
ruffle. I
Candace
might
helped Sharice
ruffle.
talk to Gigi, and then Candace wrote a legal statement for Monique to shut
She did.
Gigi up.
She did. She
She
wrote
told
Okay,
a
what were
Monique,
you gonna say,
"Hey,
Demisio? Hold on, let him go.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry."
No, I was gonna say now I might ruffle a little feathers. I know people like to tussle over their faves and
Ooh,
stuff now, but I personally, now let me say this again. I personally feel like the whole Monique and Candace thing wouldn't have even happened had she left her out of the situation with Ashley and the getting pregnant and the drinking and all of that. Like, I feel like
Yes.
she made it such a big deal, even though everybody was saying the same thing to Candace, like, you're going too far, you're doing too much. But when Monique said that, then it was like this, like Monique was the Antichrist for telling her, like, girl, calm down, even though everybody was saying the same thing. Even Karen, Karen and Candace was
But
like
we're
tight at
talking
that
about
time.
different seasons. I'm so confused because
yeah, that's
the person that was drinking too much was Ashley.
No, what I'm
No,
saying
I'm talking
is
about the drunk driving. Are you see what you're talking about?
no, what
but
I was saying was I said I feel like the whole feud that happened season 5 was like backlash from all the stuff that happened season 4. It like because I feel like
No,
had Candace not made such a big deal out of Monique saying like basically, you're doing too much about the drinking thing. Ashley was trying to get
you're
pregnant and all
confused.
of
That's
that.
not what happened. Just what actually happened was Monique and Ashley was into it because they went out for lunch or something.
No, I'm not talking about that. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when Ashley was trying to get pregnant and Candace was like
season 4.
making a big deal
That's
about her
that's the wrong
drinking.
season. Then yeah,
I
you're on the wrong.
understand that, but I understand what
He's saying
y'all
that's
are
what
talking
kicked it
about.
off.
I'm saying I feel like that's what made the season 5 drama like way bigger
But
because
that didn't
of that.
involve. I don't think that has it. I think it was 100% about that rumor. That rumor had been around.
I feel like that was
Monique
icing on the
thought.
cake. I feel like that was
Monique.
icing on the cake.
I think Monique thought that they were bringing a rumor that had been in production on the show, and she miscalculated because they didn't.
I
She got
think that she was
confused.
scared that the
She
trainer
was
was going to come out,
scared.
and she
She
was on
really.
edge
You
the
can go
entire
back to
season.
even before the season aired. Monique was doing uh, what do you call it when you're trying to
Those
be?
lives, which is why the
Yes,
Bravo
but
celebrities are not allowed to do
those
interviews with
lies were so
bloggers anymore.
wrong. She was
She's the
trying to
reason why they're
make
not
Really?
allowed to do, yeah,
wrong.
because she was doing so many lives and like
Yes,
going saying things that weren't being on the show. They literally had to stop. They said you're not allowed to do lives anymore during the season, and that they stopped them. Like, you now bloggers have to ask repeat, like the housewives can say yes, I will interview with you, but now it's really hard to get them on an interview because of Monique, because she was spending so much time on Instagram live turning the story around for something
yeah.
that was never filmed.
Like at some point we
Oh,
were running almost 2 stories. So when people talk about this, people get confused. I'm telling you, Monique, after that fight, Monique didn't film with the girls again. And because of that, Monique was paranoid. So she started telling stuff that wasn't even on the show.
Yeah.
That's why it was almost like when you saying that Giselle came after Monique's marriage. I'm like, she actually didn't. She actually didn't, because going after it would have been telling their rumor and really making it a part of their storyline. Anything that she did was a reaction to something else. Monique opened that door.
She opened the door about her drunk driving too, because she was like, I only had 2 drinks. Like, why?
She told
Nobody
herself.
asked
And
you.
Ashley didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
Like, she was just like, oh, we were out, we had drinks, didn't even think of nothing of it. And she's the one that said, well, I heard you said I drank or something. And she was like, no, you did. And she said, well, I only had 2 drinks. And Ashley was like, girl, you had 4.
Right. No,
And let's also remember that she didn't call insurance at the crash site. She left her car and walked home, and then they had a private mechanic fix the car, which is all kinds of suspect.
but that's rich
I'm
people
like,
stuff
it's
too.
crazy. Monique, I mean, and look, it wasn't that big of a deal, but she made it. She's like that kid. All of us
That is
have
true.
toddlers where you walk in the room, you be like, I ain't ate that cookie. Girls, cookie crumbs all on your shirt. If you
I
don't
agree
go
with
sit
this
down, stop
because
lying, that's Monique.
I told this to Callie. I feel like Candace is turning into Monique because she is starting to do all these lives and saying all these things, and she talks about the show because we knew about the rumor with Chris before the show even came out, because Chris and
She
her
put it out,
went,
and
they
Chris
put it
did
out,
too.
and I don't want her to turn into Monique.
Chris did a whole live on TikTok about it. Come on.
Yeah. We gotta stop that. So anything else,
And
people?
the reality is,
Okay, I did want to say one more thing before we got off of here.
one more thing.
Okay.
I want to say one more thing before we got off
Hold
of
on,
here.
Demetrio. Joy, why one more thing too? Everybody get one more
Okay.
thing. Go, Joy.
Yeah, Chris didn't, Giselle didn't accuse him of doing it. So for her to now take it to, like, what he said, he don't want her old
Vagina. Yeah.
Like, she didn't say that he did, although
And first of all,
She
I'm not
implied it, Joyce.
but old vagina can be good because Sheree got Martell. But go ahead.
Oh, God.
Kai, you want to go next? You got one last thing?
I think that the season's going to be a mess. Mia's lying about a lot of things. Gizzard has nothing going on. It's talking about this Chris thing, and it doesn't seem to be handled with care.
Mm-hmm.
Handled with care with someone she's claimed is a friend, and that she has had a friendly rapport with, that we see them too, like having friendly flirting with, which I have guy friends who I friendly flirt with too, and have had a relationship before. So it seems that I think it's more of an issue like you are being completely and totally reckless, and the story sounds like nothing. Does not help.
You know, her that friend fall out. That friend been talking about her bad on Twitter.
Who? Are you talking about Mia?
Mia, oh yeah, Jacqueline and Mia. I don't think they're gonna.
Well, we're not, because Mia's disgusting, because she's always posting like she cares about an initiative. When she doesn't, she's really using it as a ploy to get sympathy or to down somebody. So now all of a sudden she's supposed to be this beacon of light for domestic violence. How did you get that video? Did you get that video from that man?
I can't believe she did that.
And then the fact that you're going off on each other on Instagram, and the girl doesn't have a Twitter, so because she was eating you up on Instagram, you moved to Twitter where she doesn't have an account, and you posted that.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I don't think they're gonna stay on Chris Gate or Uncomfortable Gate. They're gonna move on, thank God, because I can't take this, Giselle. I can't. All right, Demetrio, you got one last thing?
Right. I normally can take up for it, but I can't take up for it.
I can't take up for you.
Okay, my last thing is I just want to say really quickly, if Ashley don't just go ahead and stay with that man until he died, because at this point, girl, buying a house in the same LLC, like, girl, you what divorce? Like, girl, if you still need money, then just say that.
Okay, you saw where Ashley admitted that she is scamming the insurance company.
Yes.
She was like, I cannot do this and tell about my divorce until after I get this house.
Yes.
You admitted that on TV.
That's not.
I ain't even on the phone.
Does she move? Because when you get stuff in the LLC, you can file bankruptcy against your house. I know you can generally, but I'm just like, that's too sticky, isn't it? That means you don't own your house, although you're paying the mortgage.
Well, the business owns it. for me, rich people put their homes in LLCs or trust all the time. It's
Yeah.
just odd that she is doing it with Michael because that means Michael has his name on it in some way. It's very because you can get divorced all you want to. Once you get divorced, his name is still in that house because you have it in an LLC
I mean,
with him.
if it's his company, he can take it at any point. It's
I
not
don't
even
He
get
like
can
it.
fight
they
about
got a
it. He can fight
marriage.
about her having a man in there. What if she wants to move a man in there? He has reign to that. So that's the part where it doesn't make sense to me. It seems like this it feels like this divorce is a fraud. Michael's tired of being on the show because every season he can't help himself but to do something and get caught doing it. And he doesn't want to be talked about anymore. So they decide that they're gonna have this sham of divorce where he can go ahead and live his life in that penthouse that he refuses to move out of, do whatever he wants to do,
That
and maybe he'll
actually
buy her a
makes sense.
house.
I actually did think about that. Like
I hate
when
they live in that
Giselle was saying,
penthouse.
"Are you lying?" And I'm
It's a
saying,
lie
and
because
I
it
wonder if it's
makes
like a
no sense. And
story.
It
Ashley
makes
is
no
too
sense.
afraid to leave him. Ashley's already told us that that man reminds her of her father. Then she's come out and said that prenup has language in it that she didn't understand and it's not what she thought it was. And then the fact that I think
Hmm.
people think she's so smart, but I'm sorry, she's not that. Because the fact that she went on TV saying, I don't know how much I need to take care of my kids means that if you go to the divorce court, Michael's the best person to say, this is how much her car is, this is how much daycare is, this is how much she needs for food, da da da. So this is what she should expect for her paycheck for child support because she doesn't pay for anything.
That's what she
Because
said.
the East Coast is not as easy as if
Her
you're in
friend
California.
told her it's cheaper to keep her. I was
No,
Yes.
cracking
in
up.
California, it's easier if you've been married. And also, she hasn't been married for 10 years. In California, you've been married for 10 years. Okay, it's easier. But the
You
DMV
have.
area and in Georgia, like Rick Ross is paying like, I think, $1,200. That man is a multimillionaire paying $1,200 a month for child support. The East Coast is not that easy when it comes to divorces and child support like that.
I
So
hate them in
she's,
that penthouse with those little kids. And then she had
yes,
that table, the glass table with the sharp
it's
corners.
not kid
No,
friendly because
get
Michael
this
never
off
wanted those
me.
kids. He never wanted those kids.
All
He
right,
got
Sandy, you
caught
got
doing
any
something
one
he
last
shouldn't have.
things? Because Sandy ain't saying much today.
I know. I've been on
You
a
on
roll
mute,
today.
Sam.
You
You
on
on mute.
mute. Mute, mute,
Oh
mute.
yes, mute.
You on mute,
I
Sam.
can unmute her. Hold on. You on mute, Sandy.
Yeah, the reason why I couldn't say anything is because you had me muted the whole time.
Did
Well,
I?
yeah, you did, so I couldn't say
Why
anything.
you
So,
didn't type?
well, I did type in there, but I don't want to be rude. Say, Montique, unmute me.
No,
Everybody
in
else.
in another chat. You got my messenger.
Oh, okay. So going forward,
Go
but
ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't even
she
realize.
was Ashley was given good advice on to get her a lawyer. Okay, that has her interests at heart. See, Ashley wants to have one foot on one side of the fence and another on the other side of the fence. She has to realize that Michael has her is ringing circles around her that she doesn't even see where he's going. Somebody has to tell her that's why you have your own lawyer to protect your own
Mm.
interests with those children. She thinks that she's being slick, but Michael is using her like a carpenter uses a tool. But
Oh,
but the most important thing that I want to, I can I talk about the tea or not yet, Monty?
what tea?
You what I sent you earlier about Sheree and
Well, let me
Martell.
do my one last thing, and then we'll let you do your tea. Then we'll leave. I
Okay.
don't really on camera. I was eating a grape, but I didn't want to do it on camera. Okay, anyway. Um, my one last thing is I'm sticking beside Giselle,
Oh God.
and I am done.
What's new, right?
So tell the tea about, and I don't know if everybody heard this, and we don't even know if it's true because was it media takeout? That's why I
Well,
don't.
allegedly, Richie Sky said that on Carlos King's post, he said that Martell is filming on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it must be so because when you looked at some of the excerpts, you saw that they were some of the cast were like Candy were being interviewed, and when they interviewed her, she said that first week was unbelievable. Supposedly, Kenya was stirring the pot because Kenya, well, she has a history of coming with drama, and Kenya had an old DM from Martell way before this even came up. and she purposely held it and brought it up on camera when they were filming, and then they went off. So that's Kenya's drama, and supposedly,
Dirt like that.
allegedly, Sheree is also supposed to be coming on, if they're still together, on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think that would be terrific. Okay, that is now
So you
that's
don't
what
think
you.
Kenya should have told Sheree that Martell is in people's DMs trying to find another woman to kind of get him out of Melody's shadow?
Well, no,
Another.
no, because first of all, Kenya only did that, and all those they're supposed to be finding her an African man. You know, she has a penchant for good-looking men. Okay, and once he's around her and is alone, you see, she's gonna work her magic. She always does this. This is something that we've seen over and over again with Kenya. But this is like sour grapes with Kenya. What she doesn't like is Sheree came away with the prize.
I would
I
be
So
surprised.
actually, I actually
If you
she
think
do
Martell
feels
is
think
surprised, you crazy.
I do think that
because,
because
well,
she
not
she
in the sense of
says
a mate. When you bring those dollars home and you put them in your bank, that's the prize. Okay, so
I
that
$100.
she ain't got no money. But look, I do think though that Kenya, if you listen to Sheree says something like, I'm surprised Kenya has such negative things to say because she always is the one asking me about Martell.
right.
Like she appears to, if you even at the reunion, seems to kind of be excited about how things played out. But I
Hmm.
think that what probably happened is Martell wouldn't play Kiki with her. I really do think that when Kenya doesn't like somebody, it's usually because they give her the impression that they don't like her. And I
Well,
think
okay.
that he wouldn't kiki with her. I bet you this is gonna turn out like this.
We shall
And
see.
yeah, we gonna see. And she now has turned all of a sudden. How you go from being itching to see this guy, excited to see how it turns out, and you have on the first day of filming, now she's not a good picker. You knew what he was from the beginning.
Well, they
Hmm.
also heard that at the reunion, though, Joy. I don't think they thought that she was going to stick with him for the show. Like she was just going to play around.
Well,
They
I
may be
think there's a
worried.
little envy there from Kenya, not because she wants him, it's because he's able to pull down more money and there's more opportunity for the two of them.
Yeah,
So
nobody checking for them.
Oh
TMZ,
no, that's not true.
who
They
checking for them, Joy? Where have
actually
you seen
are
them?
they are going to be TV gold for Bravo.
I
Okay, well,
agree
see.
with that. I would tend to, and it
They're
can
going to
also
be
be for
TV
home
gold.
as well. Okay, if they play it right. Okay.
You're
Y'all
right.
gonna like this fake relationship.
Well,
BTV
well,
gold.
let's put it this
Neither
way.
one of them
When
are
you think
saying
of
that
the
they're trying to
Scotts
get married.
versus Martell and Sheree, which would you pick? This is an
Oh,
easy.
well, yeah. I got you on that one.
What you
Okay.
say, Andy? Say that again.
I was saying that, first of all, the show looks for charisma and great eye candy. And whether you like
Oh
Martell
yeah,
and Sheree or not,
yeah,
they got it in spades.
that's true.
They have the it factor, the look,
Yeah,
both of them. So that's going to bring them plenty of opportunities. And I'm glad that OWN and Bravo got together on that. But the Scots are playing out. Okay. Who they got in the back? Oh, Wanda, that likes to start fights and start crap. Okay. Where's the storyline? Tisha, who for years has this husband embarrasses her and treats her like she's a 7-year-old, and she's just suddenly awakening from the days. Oh, tell him not to talk to me like that. He's been talking like that to her for years, and she's just now waking up. It
Well,
wasn't until Funky Dineva said to her, told her that she's complicit. All these years that Marceau has been
so
talking to her, went right over her head. And
all right.
and
he cracked me
every
up. Don't be looking at me like that. I told you that a million times.
Yeah, that I loved them. All right, let me put this up, y'all. I need to get off here. One of my coworkers is calling me. I think
Oh,
something happened with their family.
okay.
Here's our link tree. Y'all follow us on everything. We will be back Thursday, Joy.
Yes.
Thursday, I will probably not be home until 5:36, so we might start about 5:36, if that's okay with everybody. All
What are
right,
we reviewing? What are we
Beverly
reviewing?
Hills, just Beverly
Um.
Beverly.
Hills,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Is there anything else, Joy? It's just Beverly Hills,
Parent.
right?
I think it is. It's parent teachers conference on Thursday. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work though.
What time do you think you'll be done? Because we can go
I
at
want
7.
it's over with at 6.
Okay, so let's do 6:30, 6:37. That's fine with me if that's not too late for y'all.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll do Thursday about 6:37 ish, which will be great for me too, because I can go get something to eat after I get done with what I'm doing.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Okay.
We shall
All
see
right.
y'all Thursday.
See ya.
Peace, everybody. Thank y'all for coming.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.